Fade in. Hello, I am Michelle.
And I'm Natalie the Red.
And we are Force of Light Entertainment. Well, today we are continuing our reviews of the new Marvel Disney Plus show, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But before we get started, we are going to do one of our giveaways. We like to give stuff away here.
We do.
And we are going to be giving it away. It is the Winter Soldier himself. And I just want to tell you really quick how you enter in your name to possibly win this. And it's simple. You've got to be a subscriber. You need to like this video, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below, and you will automatically be put into the Winter Soldier giveaway. So definitely do that.
But wait, there's more.
Is there more?
No, I'm just kidding.
There's no more. So that's all
This
you got
is
to do.
enough.
That's all you got to do. And you could we'll announce the winner on our next Friday when we cover the show next week. So definitely go ahead, subscribe, thumbs up the video, and leave a comment below to win this. All right. Well, today we are going to be discussing episode 2, which is titled The Star-Spangled Man. And of course, that is in reference to the new Captain America.
The Captain himself.
Yes, John Walker. And of course, after calling him, saying his face looked kind of like a douchebag, I found out that was Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's son, Wyatt Russell.
Our apologies to the parents.
His face was looking less douchey in this episode. Okay,
it was. I really do give him that.
It did. So of course it starts with that and us seeing him being crowned Captain America. And this episode to me, just kind of right off the bat of initial thoughts on this, it was a lot more entertaining to me than the first episode.
Totally.
Which often's the case. A lot of time pilots are just setting things up and are a little slower.
True.
But it was a lot better. And of course we finally get Falcon and Winter Soldier together, which made it a lot more fun. Which, I mean, I think we expressed that last week. That was one of the things that...
Yeah, that once they got together, it would kind of pick up.
Yeah, so it does. And we see, of course, we've got even, what's her name out there from Good Morning America?
She's actually from The View.
She is on, but she's also on Good Morning America.
Oh, is she? Yeah, I think she did something else, and then she'd be kind of on and off The View, and now I think she's like back on full time.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, regardless, they had that all out there, and they're celebrating the new Captain America, and it doesn't really waste time as far as Falcon and Winter Soldier getting together in this one, which was good because we had a whole episode without them,
and we learned there's only 6 episodes?
Yeah, there's only 6. So next week we're halfway through. So this is gonna come and go fast.
Yes. Yeah.
It's gonna come at us fast. So they had to get it going. And of course this does, and they begin to work together. And I do appreciate, because I think it speaks for the audience when Winter Soldier or Bucky tells Falcon, like, why did you give up the shield? Captain America gave it to you. He thought you were worthy of it. Why did you give it up? And now we find that the government pretty much, it seems like, just straight up lied to Falcon, because they do this big shindig of it going to the Smithsonian, but come to find out they've been training Captain Douche behind the scenes for like months and months to take this role. So they pretty much tricked him.
You got me, Shelley.
And they pretty much tricked him, Falcon, into giving up the shield just so they can give it to Walker. So,
AK.
you know his nickname. What's funny, some of you in the comments last week were like, yeah, that's pretty descriptive of this character in the comics. So I guess we were right on with that one.
He's actually called Captain Douche
in the comics. He's not, but the people are saying that really is kind of what he's like in the comics. So of course they take Falcon and Winter Soldier go off to check out this group that the guy that Falcon was working with in the beginning had told him about, and of course got his face smashed in, unfortunately. He seemed to be fine though in this episode. And so they go off to deal with that. And that's where they run into the girl that was in Solo, A Star Wars Story.
Yeah, I recognized her immediately.
Yeah. She kind of has a recognizable face.
She does.
And it's kind of interesting. You guys let us know below. So it's like they're setting them up to be the villain, but I feel like not really. I feel like it's going to be a bait and switch of they are kind of the villain, but then there's going to be a bigger villain.
Yeah.
That's kind of how, and
Maybe she's not really the bad guy.
Yeah, because maybe even they have to find her in these first couple episodes, and then there's something she's going to be able to help them with, possibly. It's kind of what I'm beginning to get vibes of from this episode. But regardless, Soldier and Falcon, they jumped out of that was actually kind of funny when he, it's funny too when he was like, it's either, what does he say? Either like aliens, wizards, or...
Oh, that whole first of all, I just enjoyed their interactions, period, in this episode. I think they play off each other really well.
Yes.
So that was something like that was much more enjoyable to me about having them together, obviously. But yeah, when he's like talking, he's like, so what is it, Gandalf now? And he's like, I read that in 1931.
He's like, I read The Hobbit. Right. And like, so it
was a flex.
Yeah, it was a flex because he was like, I read it like decades before you did. So that was fun. And it was kind of funny when he just jumps out kind of like Captain America would and just crashes into the ground, which of course he can do because he's had the super serum.
And Falcon's like, I got that whole thing on video, just so you know.
And so we find out that this group that they're tracking, that all of them have taken or been dosed or whatever you want to word that with the super serum. They all have that super ability, super strength, all those same things that like Captain America had and the Winter Soldier have. And you guys let us know what you think, because of course, John Walker and his friend, they come to save the day, as Captain America and his little sidekick. Which, like, it feels like totally copying Steve Rogers and Falcon. Like, totally in every way they're trying to. And, but okay, so here's what I'm getting at, guys. So it's like they want us to believe that, that John Walker, has not had the super serum. But I feel like he does some things when he lands that it seems like you would almost have to have the super serum to do.
Right.
So you guys let us know below. Do you guys think he's had it and they're just like keeping that under wraps, or what's kind of the deal with that? So then, of course, Falcon and Winter Soldier, they kind of get off, and eventually they meet up with Walker, and they kind of reject his notion to help them.
Yeah.
At which point they go back to Baltimore, Maryland, and we see kind of a big kind of, interesting, as Winter Soldier shows Falcon that there is, I believe, is his name Isaiah? Was it Isaiah?
I can't remember the older gentleman.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember what his name is.
But basically, they had given him the super serum and clearly just kind of thrown him to the curve, and it wasn't supposed to tell that he had it. So
they did him very wrong, it sounds like.
Yes. So clearly, like, government experiments and experimentation, and then like discarding the guy.
Right.
So it's interesting to see. I doubt they just show us that and don't come back to that.
I feel like I'm sure that'll kind of play back later, or maybe the guy will get some vindication, I would hope.
Yes. And then I believe I've already seen that. Was that his son or grandson that was with him?
I'm thinking that would have to be his grandson,
because I think he maybe's in the Young Avengers at some point in the comics.
Okay.
Is what I was reading. You guys can let me know below if that's not correct, but he's in something. And so we'll see. I'd say that they introduced that, but I have a feeling that's going to be picked up later down the road. And of course, at which point Winter Soldier is arrested for not doing his therapy. And then we get the scene of the two of them together.
It's happened to me a time or two.
It has not. Then they get the scene of the two of them together in therapy, which was a fun scene.
I loved that scene, actually. I thought it was great.
It was, and it was a mix. What was good about it, it was a mix of humor, and then it also...
There was actually some real emotion.
There was.
Like when Winter Soldier says, like, he really kind of gives the, not sure what the word I'm looking for is.
You know why he's so upset with Falcon.
Like he really just kind of word vomits out, like how it's affecting him. Like, he's like, he thought you were okay. Maybe that means I'm not okay.
Yes.
And so I thought that was really good kind of writing. And
yes, because one of my like critiques, I would say, of episode 1 is I feel like Winter Soldier has a very strong arc that they're going to carry him through. And he's really had one of the more intriguing arcs in the MCU in general.
Yeah.
But, in this in this series, it's definitely he's trying to overcome clearly his time of being a brainwashed assassin,
Right.
and is truly trying to come to grips with his changes and being a different person and not being that.
Yeah.
So that's compelling. So he's really kind of fighting his own demons, and that's when, like you said in that scene, for him he really needs to know that like what Steve saw in him is true.
Like I appreciated his honesty that just kind of flew out of him.
Yes. Yeah. So that was a really good
But
scene.
also it's like when I love when she's like has them do the gazer thing or whatever. And, you know, and they get closer and she's like closer. So then they're like knees are, you know, and they're so close. And then they're just like staring and she's like, oh my gosh, are you guys doing a stare off? You know, and clearly that's what they're doing. So Michelle said that was in the trailer, which I hadn't watched. So that already kind of been like spoiled for her, but I thought that was genuinely funny.
Yeah, it was still a good scene. That whole scene, like I said, between the mixture of the humor and then really hearing Bucky's heart and kind of what he's trying to overcome.
And I think clearly another setup here is in their relation, they're going to end up being friends.
Yeah, definitely. Probably really close friends.
Yes. And it only makes sense.
It does, because they share something that no one else really shares as far as their relationship with Steve. So yeah, that was a good scene. But then we see that Captain Walker, that the new Winter Soldier has gotten him out of jail, or Bucky out of jail. And then he wants them to work with him. And there's a little bit of a confrontation when they're like, nah.
Yeah.
When they're like, nah, we're not going to work with you.
Right.
It kind of seems like there's going to be some tense stuff between them at that point.
And at first I thought, this might sound really naive of me, but I thought, well, maybe they're not giving him a chance and maybe he's really not like a bad guy. But then the way he says what he says at the very end, it was like, okay, you are Captain Douchebag.
And that's okay. If I have a critique of this, I know everyone who's read the comic knows that Walker is a douchebag. Okay, I get that. But so many people who watch Marvel haven't read the comics,
like me.
Including me. And the far vast majority of people don't even take the time like I will to go seek out the comic information after I've watched it. And so I wish they would have like kept it secret, like really played up he's this good all-American guy, like longer before you reveal to us like his true nature and who he really is.
It could have added a little more intrigue.
I think it definitely would have, instead of showing us so quickly, really within the first episode he's really in, like, oh, he's probably not the best guy.
Because not knowing the comics, obviously you get that kind of, he rubs you the wrong way because of his face.
It's just his face.
It's just his face at the end of the first episode. And then you're kind of like thinking, okay, when you don't know, like me, you're thinking, okay, well, maybe he's not that bad. And then by the end of the second episode, it's like, no, he sucks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I wish they would have kept that like secret. Like really
like play it out a little longer.
Like really let it be like a shocker moment where he stabs him in the back and you're all like, I knew it. Like I had a feeling. Like kind of trick the crowd a little bit with it. I wish they would have done that. But maybe they trick the crowd in another way and he helps them down the road. Yeah. I mean, they could still do that.
They could go that way with it.
We'll see where where Captain Walker goes. Does he truly earn his title of Captain Douchebag or not? Well, only time will tell. We'll see. So then, of course, it ends with them with Winter Soldier saying that he needs to go see Zebo. I believe I'm saying his name right. But of course, the villain is he in Winter Soldier at all, guys? I know he's definitely in Civil War, is where I remember him from the most and causing the most problems in Civil War. So
I take it he was like in a prison.
Yeah.
That last shot.
Yeah, and he was a real disaster. So it'll be interesting next week. I have a feeling they'll probably start pretty quickly with us talking to him. So it's beginning to pick up, and we saw that there's people tracking the group that Winter Soldier and Falcon were trying to find. So I believe it's all going to be interesting where this goes, and I feel like Walker's going to be a problem. I think we're all beginning to pick up that vibe as the show moves on. And again, guys, let us know below. Do you think he has the super serum in him? Let us know.
I'm pretty sure I've had a facial thing called the super serum. Do I have superpowers?
We would like some.
I think I do.
But that's kind of our recap, reaction, thoughts. We've only watched, we really just watched this a few minutes ago. haven't really digested it much. Usually
True.
as the week goes on, I learn more about these shows too. But yeah, that's kind of our review. So we'll go ahead and grade this one.
You
For-
guys inform us in the comments oftentimes, like
Yeah.
I pick up things, so we appreciate that.
Yeah. Share your, again, to enter this, you've got to what, guys? Subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. So you can tell us something that maybe we missed or anything like that, something that would be good to know in the comments.
I like to be informed.
Yeah.
It's always welcome here.
Yeah, and many of you guys have watched or read the comics and know a little more, so definitely share below. But Natalie, we'll go ahead and rate this. We rate in hoots, and we rate out of 5. So Natalie, and in your enjoyment level of this episode, how many hoots do you give it?
I'd say between 3.5 and 4.
Yes, I was going to say, because if
I want to say 3.75 hoots, but I know that's not allowed.
if I'm being real, okay, the first episode for me was a 2.5, like 2.5, 2.5 hoots.
First episode for me might have been 1.5 hoots.
Okay, so my first episode was 2.5 hoots. I'm going 3.5 hoots with this episode.
I'll go with that. That sounds solid.
It was a big improvement, but I feel like we're about to get even more interesting as we move forward. So
and that's not a knock. That's often how shows go.
Definitely. That's definitely how shows go. So yeah, so that's it for this review of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Again, we will announce the winner of this Funko Pop next time we cover the show next Friday. So share your thoughts below. Definitely hit the subscribe button. And as always, guys, remember to be a force of light. All right, bye, guys.
Bye.